I'm so incredibly excited to have with me here today someone that has impacted my life in a very short amount of time. Michelle J Lamont. She and I met, I guess in August. It wasn't that long ago, just a few months ago. She was a speaker on my last summit, and she and I connected multiple times. I started listening to her amazing podcast, Manifest Miracles. And her energy is big, it's contagious, it's powerful. Um, every time I speak with her, she just she digs in very quickly and creates a lot of awareness in my being. So welcome, Michelle.
Hello, 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 divine beings. Hello, my love, Brenda. I'm so excited to be here today and to talk to your amazing audience about how they are going to manifest their miracles, but most importantly, manifest some money.
You know, it's so awesome. I I I talk to a lot of women, and one of their biggest challenges is this money manifestation, this money, like overcoming their obstacle of attracting money or feeling like they're worthy of money. And I know we're going to talk about your course coming up.
Yeah.
And I would just love to hear from you what it was like to go from doubt to dollars, right? Where you totally uprooted your life, had no idea what was happening, and you landed in $1 million home with beautiful dolphins swimming by your view every single day.
Sometimes when we're on a call together, I'll turn the phone around. I'm like, you want to see some dolphins or in my backyard? So thank you for that introduction, Brenda. The name of my podcast is Manifesting Miracles with me, Michelle Juanita Lamont. And I am absolutely going to become your best friend for financial resources. But let me explain something to you. Out of 229 podcasts, I've only done 2 on money. And the reason that I didn't want everything in my reality to be based around money is because money is such a low source of energy that it's abundant. It's like air and water and it's everywhere. But what I kept hearing over and over and over and over again with the thousands of people I speak to in stages across the world, from the hundreds of thousands of people, almost 500,000 people have downloaded my podcast in less than 3 years. We're coming on the 3rd year anniversary, going into year 3 this for my birthday next week, October 25th, Wednesday. And Scorpio, baby. Is that they have this tremendous amount of fear about being independent. I had a woman that I was working with, and she was like, well, I don't want to buy a house. What if I get a husband? And I just wanted to break my neck. And I was like, what are you talking about? You guys will have that as an asset. You could use that to rent it out. You could make it an Airbnb. You could sell it and then buy a house together. So as women, we're never really taught to put ourselves first. We watched our mothers and our grandmothers and even our great-grandmothers, depending on how old you are. I'm young. I'm just imagining what my great-grandmother looked like. And let's just say I'm older than Google. And so when we grew up in this reality and we started to see things as like, oh, we're supposed to take care of the children, or we're supposed to take care of the pets, we're supposed to take care of our parents, we're supposed to take care of our spouse, our love partner, everybody, our best friend, except for us, we learn to put ourselves second. And as we start to put ourselves second, well, the thought of being financially free, the thought of not having fear about money, that we are our own universe, creating our own solar system, we are the planet, and the moon money is circulating us, and we're chasing the sun, which is our energy. And everything in this reality is energy. And there are so many reasons why you are not a vibrational match to that divine abundance. And it's not because you're not worthy, although that's what you want to believe. And it's not because you don't have the right education. That's what society wants you to believe. And it's not because you're not the right ethnicity. That's what culture wants you to believe. Every single thing in our reality is in place to make you feel less, to want less, and to desire less, and kind of keep you in your place, okay? Because what happened if that's you that I'm talking to, right now were to fully activate their financial abundance? What would you do in this world? How would you circulate that money? One thing I'm going to leave you with on this day is that you're going to do one thing right now for the rest of your life. You are never, ever, ever, ever going to say you spend money. You don't spend money. You circulate it. And you're constantly moving this chi and moving this energy field, right? So let's say, somebody was like, Michelle, I barely have enough money. I pay my bills. I'm like, oh, that's about to change. We're about to blow that up. But what's wrong with being able to pay your bills? Well, by the time I'm done with my car payment and my tutoring and kids soccer and they want to go skiing this summer and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, damn, your kids had it good. I grew up in an orphanage. Like I was lucky to get like 3 meals in a day. So when you look at your life and you're spending the money, you're thinking I'm spending money. Like I had the money and then it's gone. But if you were to just roll that back, and one of the exercises that I have in my course, From Doubt to Dollars, a 21-day to blueprint manifesting money, I ask you to challenge that theory with the circulation technique. So let's say that you have, we'll call this a bill. This will be our electric bill. And our electric bill this month here in Florida, where I live, Duke Energy, is one of the highest in the US, but they also employ people in 7 different states. Wow. So instead of thinking, oh, stupid electric company, how could it cost $460, which was my last electric bill, to put my little house with just me and 2 dogs, a pool and a backyard, to circulate air conditioning or whatever I needed, electricity for the phones, the computers, whatever I needed. Well, instead of thinking that I circulated $478 or I spent $478, imagine for just 1 second with me, come on, you can do it. Imagine the person driving up to Duke Energy, parking her car, getting out, setting up on her desk, and answering all of your customer service calls. She's able to go and get herself a lunch. She's able to buy her children's supplies for school. She was able to put gas in her car. She was able to pay for her apartment, all because you hit pay. Now, it puts a very different perspective on this bill, because this isn't a bill. You're just circulating this money to that person at the desk. And maybe the energy company is using tactics and techniques to improve the energy system or to make things more reliable for us. So when a power outage happens, they can hire more people very quickly because you were one of the good people who circulated money towards them. So here living in Florida, we have a lot of floods and hurricanes and that sort of thing. One of the fastest things that I see are these electric trucks just rolling in and this unbelievable, terrible weather with storms and hurricanes and flood to reconnect our electricity. But we don't think about that when it's sunny and sunshiny outside. We're like, oh my gosh, $378 for this bill or whatever your bill might be. So if you're circulating it and you're moving your energy to somebody else's energy instead of a big, huge corporation, you're allowing the universe to use you as a funnel for a prayer answered. And so we will no longer communicate with money as if there is scarcity and doubt and lack, because it is not your vibrational reality to live in less. It is your vibrational reality to create and create and create. So I have been working on this. I went back to school after in 2016, I divorced a very abusive marriage. He blew up my credit score, had credit cards I didn't know about. All of the money that was saved in my savings account, annihilated, gone. All the money that I thought was waiting for this retirement age, $16 after 20 years of marriage. Wow. And he was well on his way to his next wife in her $500,000 house, 6 states away. After I said, I'm done, we're getting a divorce, I can't handle you anymore, I'm not going to take care of you, I'm done. And I was desperate. I was so desperate that episode 2 of my podcast, I attempted to unalive myself. And out of that near-death experience, I went back to school and I spent 18 months studying the brain and understanding why somebody who had been as successful as I am and has covered so many tragedies in her life, from physical abuse to miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage, to financial abuse, to mental abuse, to emotional abuse, to sexual abuse, to then just say, this was the straw that broke the camel's back. I knew there was something broken in the computer. And so I went back to school to understand how to cognitively learn how to unfuck myself
Mm-hmm.
and how to learn how to operate the programming differently. And in this course, I use all of those tactics and techniques in the first week to unlock the mental blocks that you're putting on yourself. And then we're going to go into the metaphysical, the spiritual, and then the divine. We're going to be covering shadow work. We're going to be becoming angels. We're going to be covering our ancestors. We're going to be covering money tactics. We're going to be covering feng shui. We're going to be doing all kinds of work each
Oh, I can
day.
just
It's
feel the energy of it.
I literally had a meditation that somebody is manifesting $10,000 the first week. And I never am wrong about this kind of stuff. In my last class that I hosted, it was a 30-day boot camp, Manifest Your Money, Magic, and Miracles. The first week with 20 women in this class, we manifested over $250,000 with these techniques. Okay. And
Love it.
this is powerful stuff. This is already tested, tried, and true. And this isn't just me saying it. If you go to my TikTok page, you're going to see person after person that I think they call it duetting. I'm not really good with this kind of stuff. And they're like, I made $50,000. I made $10,000. I manifested my dream house because of Michelle. No, that's not true. They manifested it because they mastered their energy. And the techniques that I teach are a way forward from going from poverty to prosperity, because energetically you have been defeating yourself because of the way that you were indoctrinated into this realm. But we're cutting those ties and we're cutting those cords, and we're going to pop off, and we're going to see a whole new version of our financial future. And so after that attempted unalived and I went back to school, I started to really learn how to meditate. I changed a lot of things about my reality. I became completely sober when I was very depressed. I was drinking, it was wine o'clock around 3 o'clock every day. And sometimes it was wine coffee, and sometimes it was vodka Saturdays and champagne Sundays. Okay. And I haven't had any alcohol since 2017. I don't miss it at all. I'm actually a vegan now as well. I don't want to cause suffering, so I don't want to buy suffering, so et cetera, et cetera. But you don't even have to practice these things. You can have your little glass of wine, you can have your smoke, you can have whatever you want. This is just what I did to raise my chi and my energy to a place where I could trust intuitively the universe so in-depthly that I would sell. Now remember, I was an orphan at the age of 10. I was basically living with the college and then my husband. Okay. So as I got married as a teenager.
Wow.
So actually I got married when I was 10.
I was like, wait, what?
No, but I was a teenager. And so I just grasped onto the first thing. And that first thing was the worst thing, because I was in a very fearful state after being abused in this orphanage for so many years. So now here you come, full circle. I have multiple $1 million businesses that I've started and created to find out that there was nothing. And the only safety net I have is a house with 3 liens from the IRS because of my ex-husband. And let's just say he has a degree in accounting. Okay. So I didn't let somebody take care of the finances who wasn't educated in it. They just were not educated in helping me. They were educated in helping themselves by betting and playing golf and doing all these other kinds of things. As I'm working 60, 80 hours a week, sometimes 2 or 3 jobs, because I just didn't feel worthy of being loved. And I thought, if I let him go, no one else is going to love me. Look at me. He says I'm a terrible piece of shit person. I must be. My father didn't want me. I must not be lovable. Society didn't want me. I must not be worthy. And so the babies I wanted never wanted to be mine. They just didn't want to live in a reality where he was the papa. And that's okay. And I'm totally fine with that. And so I'm not like, oh, yay, jump for joy, totally fine with it, but I'm fine with it. And so from 2016 to 2017 to the beginning of 2018, I really started to understand that everything was in the quantum field of energy, and that we were limiting and blocking our blessings by our fears and our doubt. Fear and faith is like oil and water. You can't have fear and have faith. You can only worship one thing. If you say that you worship the divine energy of the creative source of the universe, then you can't be best friends with its ugly, evil twin, fear. You just can't. It's just going to be oil and vinegar. I mean, oil and water, like, psh, okay. So I then got an inclination, and that is going to be a 2-part episode from July of 2021 of how I manifested my $1 million view.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so you can sit back and listen with your, maybe you'll be listening with my money mug. Maybe you'll just buy my money mug. Here's my money mug.
Yes.
Sipping in on your abundance. My mug has a QR code. You scan it, and then it leads directly to a 10-minute money meditation. And of course, it's in red because that's the frequency of energy of money. And every 3 months, you buy one mug, you get a new meditation. I scan and record a new meditation. There's affirmations on there. Whoop, there you go. So I want you to sit back and listen to that episode on how I went from leaving my secure house, manifesting, removing all that debt without raising one penny or one eyebrow. I manifested it. So much so that it was in Collin County in Texas, in Dallas, Texas. And the tax assessor was like, I don't know how this happened. I don't know how these are gone. I was like, do you have a parent that might have paid for it? And I just looked up and I said, no, they're both dead. I was orphaned at the age of 10. Okay. What about your ex-husband? I said, I don't think him and his new wife really are caring about what happens to me. He's hoping I'm homeless. He didn't take care of this home, okay? He was like, well, how the hell do you think this got paid off? And I was like, angels. And he told me at the time, he said, listen, if I'm going to give you some advice, and I'm like, unsolicited, but go ahead, handlebar mustache man. He said, I would sell that house right now so you can get all that money and get yourself a little condo and get yourself some space and be safe with this, because they could come back and file before December. And if they file, that's going to stay on there for another 14 years. And this wave of calm came over me, almost as if it was a movie and something was just flowing over me. And I just looked up at him and I said, well, I have faith. And if they removed it once, they can remove it twice. I stayed in that house until 2020. Those liens never came back. And I was completely lien free when I sold that house and moved here to beautiful St. Pete, Florida, where it is almost an island. There's just a tiny little sliver of land. You have to go over a bridge to get to this bougie ass place that I live. And I'm living in a $1 million view, which is episode July 2020 to 2021, 2-part episode. So go in, dive deep, and you're going to love it. But let's talk about how in the next 21 days, you can move your energy, move your mountains, and manifest the miracles into your life. Because, honey, the universe is very, very, very intentional. And if you found this video and if you found Brenda, there are so many healing journeys that you have yet to untap, whether it's working through Brenda's incredible powers of healing and transformative journey, or whether it's your own personal journey that you get inspired by Brenda's or my story. The universe is always sending us teachers. There's a really wonderful book, The Tao Te Ching, and the Tao Te Chao. I can't say the word. Lao Tzu, the Tao Te Ching. And Lao Tzu says that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Well, baby, if you've been waiting for a way to figure out how to manifest money and abundance into your reality, this is the course. I pour everything into it. I genuinely had to edit it 14 different times because there were so many different techniques that I wanted to teach everybody. I was like, well, I'll just make a version 2 later on so they can just keep manifesting. But yeah, level 3 or level gold level. But this is such a powerful course that I know right now somebody is signing up for this class, for this 21-day digital course, and bringing more abundance into your life. And I don't want you to think of abundance as just money, because it is energy and it is just as abundant as air and water. But the matrix, the reality, needs you to stay small. It needs you to be a low thinker, a small thinker. It wants you to live in fear and doubt. It wants you to say, but I got a mortgage to pay. Doesn't everybody?
Yep.
But I got somebody to feed. So do I. We all have these. And so if you step out of that fear, the universe is going to start showing up and then showing off. And when I tell you that one of the ways that I got here was through a divine channeling energy message, and all of a sudden dolphins just started appearing everywhere in my reality. I literally thought I was losing my mind. I was like, why are all these dolphins in Dallas, Texas? Like, this is crazy. And I kept seeing commercials for Florida, et cetera, et cetera. I now have a backyard where this morning I was sitting on my dock meditating, and 3 little dolphins, doop, 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 right past my dock. I said to myself, well, if I can't be near a water, universe, I'm going to take this leap of faith. And if I can't be right on the water or near the water, let me have one palm tree to look at. I just want to go every day and stare at the palm tree and watch the little palms move and sway. There are 37 palm trees on this property. They were like, bet. And my favorite kind of flower in the whole world is called birds of paradise. They're very expensive and they're very rare, and they only open for a couple of days. I have not only this massive, huge birds of paradise bush on my property that I go and talk to every single day, I have three of the rarest kind. Palm trees, palms of paradise. The stalks of the tree have birds of paradise flowers in white and in black coming out. Like, it's the rarest kind. I also have a whole tree on the property that is an angel trumpet tree.
Wow.
I was like, wait, what is it called? Yeah, it's unbelievable. But when we start to release ourselves from that lack mentality, in 2016, I had less than $2,000 in my bank account, a house that had 3 liens against it. I was suicidal, alcoholic, and at the bottom. I was at the bottom of the barrel. So no matter where you are right now, nobody's judging you more than you are. And let me inform you of something. Everybody is a fucking narcissist. They're not looking to see how many likes you got or how many people watched your things. They're obsessed with themselves, and not in a good way. I got off social media recently. My social media is only about my courses, my classes, and what I'm offering, or my podcast. I have a small social media that's called a Finstagram. It's like a fake Instagram for just my handful of friends and family, like 6 people, where I just talk freely and they know what's going on. Here's where I went to the Dali Museum. Here's where I went to kangaroo yoga. Here's where I chartered a private boat. Here's where I had this luxurious retreat. I went to this retreat last weekend. I went to the Bahamas. I don't share any of that anymore because I'm so content with my life. I don't need anybody to co-sign on it. And that's a far cry from where I was, needing everybody's approval and everybody's attention and looking at everybody else and comparing myself to everybody else. So I want you to sign up with confidence for this course. There's even a payment plan, and it's less than $100, okay? One 30-minute session with me, a half-hour session with me, is $111. You get 21 days with me. With all my teachings. My basic coaching package starts at $1,500. You get this for $88.80 because the frequency of money is 888. And Brenda's going to have a special code for you to use. So I want you to use that code. But I want to tell you something. The universe is already figuring out ways to bring you what you're asking for if you would just get out of the way. And that's what this course specializes in. Releasing fear, releasing imposter syndrome, releasing doubt, and allowing you to be a vibrational match to the abundance that's already in your reality. You don't manifest and conjure up things. They're already there in your quantum field. You're just now stepping away from fear, stepping away from doubt, stepping away from insecurity, and allowing that quantum field to create with you instead of against you.
Awesome. And I want to say this for you that's listening as well is, I've known Michelle for, like I said, just a short amount of time. And when she says she poured her heart and soul into this program, I have not seen the program or taken it yet, But I will say, just speaking to Michelle and just listening to her podcast and her Instagram and well, that's usually either speaking podcast or Instagram. That's how I communicate with you. She just pours so much love and holds such a high vibrational energy for you to recognize where you are and where you're destined to be. And so I'm looking forward to the course, and I'm excited that you're here offering this to my peeps.
Hey.
And take advantage of it. The link is in the description. We'll also drop it below here in the chat. And we look forward. If you have any questions, just make a comment here. I'll make sure to if I don't have the answer, I'll make sure to get the answer from Michelle. And Michelle, thank you. Thank you for the work you do. Thank you for being such a goddess or queen or whatever you want to call yourself.
I'll take it all.
I appreciate you, and go click the link, sign up, $88.80.
That's 888.
$88.80. I can tell you it's going to be the best $88.80 you've ever spent in your life. And so go make it happen for yourself. Take the leap, have faith over fear, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.